Be back with your Wednesday lesson. So again, today we're going to go back to building some circuits, but we're going to learn about two new circuits. Today we're just going to focus on one, but we're going to be talking about series circuits today and then parallel circuits on Friday. So we're going to start with our series. I'll go through the PowerPoint with you first, but we will be going back to the website that we've been using previously in order to build our circuits. And I'll go through some of them with you, just giving you some examples, and you guys will be able to build them on your own. So I'll start with the PowerPoint, give you some tips and tricks there about what you need and what you don't necessarily need, and then we'll move on to showing you the website again, just so you're familiar with it, and I'll go through a few examples with you. So having said that, here is this lesson for today. So just as a refresher, like a circuit is a continuous loop that allows electrons to flow through it, and it has some sort of resistor or load, it has wires, it has a power source, and then in our case, we've started to add a switch. So that would be another circuit. A simple one doesn't involve a switch, but still has a wire, a battery, and a light bulb or a load. And then a more complex one has a switch. But a circuit is just a continuous loop that allows electrons to pass through. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about series circuits. So series are a little bit more complex than just a simple circuit. There are a few more elements to them. And in this case, here's your definition, that a series circuit is one that has more than one resistor, so more than one light bulb, more than one thing that needs electricity, but only one pathway that the electrons can flow down. So instead of having multiple routes that it can go down, it still only has one path that it can flow down. So you'll find when we cover parallel circuits tomorrow, those look a little bit different. And by tomorrow, I mean Friday. Parallel circuits look a little bit different than series circuits. So basically, the difference is a series circuit has multiple items that need electricity and only one pathway. That's the simplest way to sort of sum up what a series circuit is. It's multiple items need electricity, but there's only one path to get to those items. So when we are building these are if we were doing them in class. Don't necessarily worry about these limits, because I'll show you on the online tool how we can go about building these and what it will look like. You will be creating two series circuits today. One circuit will have one battery with two light bulbs, and then the second circuit will have two batteries and two light bulbs. You will also be creating those with a switch and without a switch. So just like when we were creating our simpler circuits, we're also going to do both of these experiments with and without a switch. It's not necessary to do them both as long as you're doing the two experiments with one battery and two light bulbs versus two batteries and two light bulbs. The switch is an extra addition that you can try, but it's not necessary. The main things I want you to try are the one battery, two light bulb, and the two battery, two light bulbs with that single pathway for the electrons to flow down. We're also going to explain what may have happened with your light bulbs in each of the different situations. So I'll go over one situation of what you would expect to see, and then I'll let you guys sort of figure out on your own what the next one looks like. So again, clean up your station, finish your worksheet. Your only responsibility is finishing up the worksheet, and then you're not working in groups. I'm just showing you this because this is the PowerPoint that you will see, but this part is not necessary. This is as if we were in class. Obviously, we're not in class. We're in a bit of a unique situation, so the cleanup is not necessary, but I'm just showing it to you because you will see it, but it's not important for you guys. There's nothing for you to do with this one. So some of the other sheets that you will have access to are the instructions. Again, repetitive instructions, just because I would cut these up normally and hand each group one of these sheets of paper, and it just saves me on printing. So you will connect the alligator wire to make the light bulb light up, and then we're going to attach a second light bulb to the circuit, and we're going to see something happen when we add that second light bulb. Then we'll also attach a second battery source to the circuit, and then we're going to try and light up the two light bulbs again, and we're going to talk about what is happening in those. So obviously with this, it's kind of leading you that something will change with the light bulbs, and hopefully that we're going to see that. I will just quickly show you guys. These are the worksheets that you are having. So just similar to the ones that we had when we were creating our simple circuits, you've got the diagram of series circuit 1 and the diagram of series circuit 2. So again, the one battery and the 2 batteries. So they sort of fall in line. That diagram of series circuit 1 has the 2 light bulbs but the 1 battery. So you would draw that here using the symbols that we know how to use. So the wire, the light bulb, the battery, and stuff like that. And then down here, so with diagram 1 only having 1 battery, in the 1 battery section of your worksheet, you're going to describe what happened when you assembled the series circuit using 1 battery and try and explain what happened. So here, you're going to explain what you saw happen with just the 1 battery. Over here, you're going to explain what you saw happen with the 2 batteries. And just above that, diagram of series circuit number 2 would be the 2 light bulbs and the 2 batteries. So again, this one has you using a switch. If I show you the next one, it's the exact same worksheet but with no switch. So doing either one of them will give you the same understanding, give you the same knowledge. If you do both, fantastic. If you only do one or the other, that's fine, as long as you're making sure one of your circuits has a single battery with 2 light bulbs and the other circuit has a series circuit with 2 light bulbs and 2 batteries. So I'm just going to close those out. This will be how we sort of end up setting up our situation. So you can see here, this is a 2 light bulb, and if you read ahead, you're going to see what's going to happen, which is fine because you want to see it for yourself and not just take the word of a paper or me. So we'll build both of these examples using these symbols, right? So if you've forgotten the symbols, they are right here for you. Those are what you're going to use to draw in here and here. Those are the symbols you're going to use to draw your setup. And then again, these are just the instructions. So I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to bring up, actually I'm going to leave that open just so that we know. But so here is my example of the website that we have used again. Once again, I will be using the intro version. So again, the main thing with a series circuit is that we only have 1 pathway in order to power 2 things that need sources of electricity. So here is light bulb number 1. And here is light bulb number 2. Remember, this is just a click and drag connection, so it's very simple, and we only have the 1 battery. So what I'm going to show you first is what it looks like when we just have the one battery connected to the 1 light bulb. So once again, our simple circuit. So I'll connect that here. I will also add a switch. Again, that is optional for you guys. It is not necessary. And then I will grab myself 1 more wire and connect it. This is an open circuit right now because there is no connection here because the switch is open. Once I hit and click down here, you see that the light rays reach a certain point, and that is just a single connection, 1 battery powering 1 light bulb. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to snip there. And so now that's what it looked like one more time. We see where the light beams reach on this one. So we'll cut here. Now I will connect it here. So once again, I will open up my circuit there. Oh, there we go. We have our complete circuit. So all of those circles are filled in black. And now it's closed right now. So this is what I wanted to show you guys very quickly. This is a single path for the electrons to flow down. So there's no alternate routes that the electrons can take. They have to follow this path. There's no other wire for them to jump off of and take as a path. It can only flow down this single pathway. This is what makes it a series circuit. So there is only 1 pathway for it to follow down. So now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the light beams to see how far they reach now that we have more than 1 source that we have to power with only using 1 battery. So I'll close off my circuit just by clicking on top of the switch. And there we go. So now you can see that my beams of light are not reaching as far as they were in my single light bulb, single battery scenario. The lights are not as bright as they were previously. They're shorter. And that's because we don't have our full electrons going to each of the light bulbs. So when they are doing this, some of the electrons are stopping here to give this light some power, but some of them are skipping past this one and going right to this one and powering this one. So instead of all of our electrons flowing to this light bulb alone to give it as much power as they can, some of them are stopping here to give this one power, and some of them are stopping here to give this one power, which is resulting in a less bright light bulb. If we were to cut here, and what we're going to do now is we are going to add a battery to our circuit. So we're coming here, connected there. I'm going to add one more wire for us, just to this one. So what we should expect to happen here is to have more brightness from each of these light bulbs, because to compensate for the extra light bulb that we need to power, we're adding more power to it. So we'll see what happens when we connect here. And you can see that the light bulbs are more brightly lit up. So this is an example of your first two scenarios written out. Now I want you guys to practice this on your own, but this is what you should be seeing. So the lights are much brighter with two batteries than with one. So part of it is you having to explain why that's occurring, what I just kind of did for the first example, as well as drawing out these diagrams. So if you guys have any questions about this setup, go for it. Now, I've included a switch for mine. That's not necessary. Once again, if I click on this, you'll see the symbols that you guys need to be using. So now we've got the two batteries, the two light bulbs, and then all the wires. Or we can just use the pictures. I want you guys to start transitioning, though, to starting to draw the symbols instead of the pictures for it, okay? So I will see you guys back on Wednesday, or on Friday, where we'll talk about our parallel circuit and what that looks like as opposed to a series circuit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good day, and I will see you back on Friday.